What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another sports card market review using Card Ladder. This is my second video where I'm using Card Ladder. I'm still pretty new to it, but I'm figuring some things out, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments below if there's a specific card or specific team player you guys want to see, and I'll be sure to do that for you. Starting off, we're going to start with the biggest weekly drops by percentage in basketball. Then we'll flip this around to gains, and we'll do baseball and football after this. So let's start it off with a 44% drop. We have a 2019 Prism Zion Williamson Fireworks Fast Break Disco Variation. In my opinion, that's a pretty sweet card. Last sold was for $211 or $210, my apologies. We can see that down here, $210, with the previous sale being $377 on the 14th of September, just a few days ago. So just a massive drop. As you can see, this is a card that definitely tends to fluctuate, but it seems to be a decently easy sell right around 300 if you're someone who back in May could pick this up for 115 and then sell it for, more than double your money a month later. So if you can pick up this card around 200 bucks, I might actually consider picking this up. It's a very cool looking card. I wouldn't even mind holding on to this. If you buy it now for 200, I don't see an issue selling this for over 300, especially with the season coming up. So I think that's a great buy. I might actually have to go snag one up if I could find one for around 200 bucks. Just, what plans that I might have. I don't want to give any advice and then it turns out terrible. I think this is actually a pretty solid buy. Next, we surprisingly have a Kevin Durant rookie card. His stuff's been actually going up with the season coming up closer, so I'm kind of surprised by this. I think this is a great potential buy here. They are the favorites to win the entire NBA championship in this next season. It's a card that has been bought for around $250 within the last 2 to 3 months. But sells, it sells for $450, $550. And at one point in March was an $800 card. So if you can get this for around $240, $250, I think you have a great chance of doubling your money, or at least selling this for $350, $400, $500. I think this is actually a really good buy. So these first two, I'm actually going to consider these two. But I think we'll just stick with the top two drops for basketball, and we'll see what's going up. So in the last week, we have 2019 Kobe Bryant, NBA Finalist. So this is a picture when he just won his championship, it looks like. Last sold at $87. And right before that, it sold for $52. So that's why we're getting that. Although it's only a $35 increase or so, we're getting a pretty big percentage because it went from, 52 to 87. This isn't one that you're going to make a bunch of money on. But if you can get it for around 50 bucks, I think that's a solid buy, with it, selling for over $100 pretty frequently, even $90. So if you could get this for around $50, and especially if you're a Kobe Bryant fan and you don't mind holding on to this, with the documentary coming out, I believe in 2022, I think this is a very good potential flip. Not the craziest card, not the biggest money, but it's hard to go wrong with Kobe Bryant, and I think that's going to be an easy flip when it comes down to it. Another trend has been Giannis just going bananas in anticipation of the season coming up. We have his 2018 Silver Prism, a pop of $589, sold on September 8th for $41, and last sold for $130. So this person down here just got a steal. It's pretty much the only card that's the only sale that's at this low of a level. It's one that was picked up for $60 though, and then $85. Yeah, and recently sold for over $100. I doubt you can get it for around 40, 50, 60 bucks right now, but if I'd pay $60 for this card, no questions asked, and I think I'd be able to easily sell it for double my money. So that would be my plan if you are a Giannis fan. I think his silver of 2018 or really any year, I think you get a Giannis silver. It's probably a decent flip. I don't know if now's the time to buy because I think it's going to start to trend around over $100. But if you can snag it for 60, $70, I think you have yourself a good buy there. With that said, let's hop over to baseball. If you guys like me including these vintage cards, let me know. And if you don't, I can filter out the years. So it's, I don't know, 2000 and on or something like that. But I do like vintage, so I keep it in. But let me know what you guys want to see. Here we have the biggest weekly percentage drops for baseball. So leading off, we have an 87 Bo Jackson, a pop of 155, last sold for 115. Before that was 177, but I mean, this is a card that kind of trends around these levels. 103, 135. Just looks like this person at 177 might have overpaid. I think that's the reason for that drop there. And then the next two cards, we have a 2018 Ohtani Bowman rookie or prospect and his Topps Chrome pitching rookie card. Let's see the percentage drops on both, 31% and 30% for the Topps Chrome rookie. Pop of 31.62, so a giant pop on that. Ohtani has been slowing down, and with Vlad Jr. picking up again, I think that's probably the reason that Ohtani is losing some focus and his prices are dropping a bit. This was a $360 card with multiple sales just a few days ago. Wow, yeah. On the 16th of September, and 2 days later, 246. That is a huge drop. 282. Sorry, 360 on the 13th, down to 246. That's what I was trying to get. So an over $100 drop in just a few days. I mean, of course, this person up here could have overpaid. This person may have just snuck in a great deal. These are probably all eBay sales. Yep, all eBay auctions. So maybe it was just someone wasn't paying attention. But yeah, on the 13th, 360. And it's just been a downward trend. That's the only one that's been over 300 since that sale. And you can see there were multiples here. So it's just been on a downtrend. If you can get something below 240, that's probably a steal there. But personally, I'm going to wait for their season to end before I jump on any Ohtani. Here we have his Topps Chrome base, a card that on the 15th sold for $455 and is down to $315. So pretty giant drop there. I wouldn't pick any of this up until after the season, until some of the hype is gone, or at least until they're out of. Once we get into the playoffs and the Angels are out, you might see a bigger drop there, and I think that's a decent time frame to pick up some Ohtani, or just wait until the offseason. That's probably my plan. During the playoffs, if all the other players are and teams that are actually still in are getting hype, Ohtani prices might fall more. One to keep an eye on at least. We'll skip DeGrom. DeGrom has been seeing a giant drop of 28% with this pop 56 Topps update gold. That's actually a nice card there. I'm surprised the pop's only 56 with 2014. I guess, people don't really tend to think much of pitchers, especially their rookie year. So let's see the biggest gains in baseball, and we'll hop over to the anticipated football. So the ones that are up, Kelenic, not sure if he's back causing some havoc for other teams in the majors right now or what's going on with him. But he is up 86%. Let's see. Yeah, this is a card this looks like someone just overpaid, honestly. Yeah, on September 16th, they bought it for $127, and the day after was $237.50. So I think someone just overpaid on that. Or auction, best offer, fixed price. Yeah, it looks like these two people overpaid with this card just selling for $127. So honestly, I think that's more of a mistake than anything, unless some news came out about Kelenic. Yeah, I wouldn't look too much into that unless you're a Kelenic believer and some news actually did come out that I'm missing. But let's get into Guerrero Jr. His PSA 10 pink refractor popped 649. He's, like I was saying, he's just been on fire. On the 16th, this was a $400 card, and it just sold for $630. $230 higher than the price before it. God, yeah, look at that. Auction, $630. And we have three $400 sales right before that. One on my slabs. That's pretty cool to see. I've been thinking about selling some cards on my slabs, actually. So we'll skip that, and we'll just go to football now. I'm going to try to wrap this up pretty soon. Biggest drop, a card I actually used to own, is the 89 Topps Traded Barry Sanders Pop 4730. Tons and tons of these in a PSA 10. A card that was going for $305 on the 15th and recently sold for $170. Probably just someone getting a good deal, honestly. Yeah, on my slabs, but on eBay it sold for $197 and then $305. Looks like someone just overpaid on the 15th for $305. Nothing too crazy. I don't think Barry Sanders has any news coming out. CD Lamb, his base prism. Not a lot of sales on this. On the 15th, it went for $197 and now $144. Don't have to dive too deep into that. Season hasn't been going too hot, but we're only a game in. I'm actually recording this at, you guys can see, 9:45 on Sunday. So right before all the Sunday morning football games, right before my 49ers play. So we'll do another update and see how prices fluctuate after today's games. Maybe I'll put a video out next week showing you guys how the prices fluctuated based on the games that will be going today. And last two cards, Baker Mayfield Select down 25% and Saquon Barkley. We both know they lost the game in week 1, so that's obviously why their prices are dropping. I wouldn't touch these right now. Let's see what they were going for. Actually, no, this is a card that was trending below $100. Yeah, if this continues to drop and we see it near $100 again, it's when I would definitely look at picking up. Even 120, I'm probably a buyer of this card because, yeah, it wasn't below 100 since December of last year. That's a pretty long time frame. So if I was able to get this around a 120 or less, it's one I would definitely consider grabbing, especially with the lower pop of 219. So that's a decent pick there. And Saquon, we don't really have to talk too much about Saquon. The season's not going so well. Although I do think Daniel Jones did play a good game. They weren't able to finish the game on top, but I think he did have a decent performance, surprisingly. But Saquon, just since the injury, hasn't been himself. He's just been limited in rushes, hasn't been performing greatly. Probably just a lot of optimism up in these prices here, and he just hasn't lived up to it. So we're going to see that drop, and we're probably going to see it continue to drop unless he turns things around, which is possible, but probably not the most likely scenario. And last thing, real quick, we're actually seeing Tua up 162%. This is his Mosaic base rookie card. Last sold for $76. So I think the main reason here, kind of have an outlier sale, $29. Someone stole this card on September 13th because the sale right after that was $84. So whoever stole this in an eBay auction, congrats. I'm not the hugest Tua guy, but for $29, I would buy that card, especially with the trending being up here close to $100. Jordan Love actually seeing some. I'm not going to skip Chris Godwin, but I'm definitely going to include Jordan Love because that's actually pretty interesting. His Prism Silver card sold for $55 on the 13th and $90. We'll see if this continues with his performance. Pop 198, so a lower pop. This is one where if he keeps performing, this might actually reach the levels it was at in July of 140 or higher. So if you guys do have this card, I'd probably sit on it. He's going to have a pretty solid season, I would say. So this is one I would definitely look to move around this level up here, around 140, even higher if I could, as the season progresses. And last card we're going to cover, Jordan Love. This is pretty interesting. Just his base prism. Pop of 209, which is very low. I think a lot of people weren't expressing this, obviously, to PSA. Sold for 140 on the 13th of this month. And then 203 was the last sale on an auction. So that's very interesting that I sold for best offer on the 13th. And the next day, people fought over this card and bought it at 203. I didn't see any news about Jordan Love other than he's riding the bench. He did okay when he came in for Rodgers in their first game of the season where they got stomped. But Jordan Love's actually a longer term hold. And for me personally, I picked up a raw Jordan Love that I'll show in my next mail day video. But he's one I believe he's either going to get traded or when Rodgers leaves, he's going to be the starter. And I think that would be a great time to sell. One of the two things is going to happen. And when it does, when either of those happen, I think that's going to increase his card prices and be a great time to sell. So that's why I'm interested in Jordan Love, and I've been picking up some lower end raw stuff. I do have a base prism at PSA that I'm sitting on or actually waiting for. So I think Jordan Love's an intriguing option. If you can buy him low, I think he's one that is going to go up regardless once he's traded or becomes the starter of the Packers. So I would be a buyer if I could get this at the right price. Definitely not paying $200. I would pay $100 though. Probably, I'd probably wait for that to sink under 100 actually for this base 10. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and what you guys want to see in the next video. Appreciate all you guys watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one.